Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions, and let's talk about ticker symbol NAT. So this is Nordic American Tanker, and like many of you guys have been asking me, I actually want to give a huge shout out to one of the members that actually sent me a message and asked me to do an update when it comes down to what is going on and why is Nordic or ticker symbol NAT selling off. One of the first things that I want to remind you is from the very beginning, at least on our YouTube channel, we try to do our part in reminding you that if it's a day trade or if it's an investment decision that you choose to take advantage of, that you understand the risk involved and what you're getting yourself into. There's no question that with great opportunity comes great responsibility. And of course, the stock market is not an easy market to be successful in. So please make sure moving forward, you never put your money into anything that you personally do not see value in, or that you also do not understand on why it's pushing up or why it's pushing down. At the end of the day, if you make a profit or take a loss, it is on you. And with that being said, and this is my first time ever breaking down NAT, and what I want to talk about is why NAT originally began to show signs of an uptrend. So it became a very trendy stock as it pushed up and hit highs of $9. And some of you guys might be asking, well, why is it that it saw that momentum and all of that demand? And a very simple explanation, NAT, which is again Nordic American Tanker, as there is a glute or a glut, however it is that you want to pronounce that, of oil. As you guys saw, oil went negative, meaning that these overall producers of oil reached max capacity, so they couldn't store the physical oil, and companies like NAT thrive during this period because of course there's going to be that demand of needing a place to store that oil. Therefore, these huge tankers that NAT, if I'm not mistaken, has 20 of them. So because of that, as there was this glute or this overall surplus of needing to store oil, and NAT having huge tankers when it comes down to being able to store that oil, you can then see why the overall demand and exposure began to increase for NAT as the overall surplus of oil was there. But like many of you guys have noticed for the past week, that the past week, oil has been on a bullish run. The overall demand levels slowly began to increase as, again, America and the overall world slowly gets back to business. So it makes sense on why the demand levels are going up. So therefore, the overall storage levels are beginning to stabilize. So it makes sense on why there is a temporary demand for NAT. And as you guys can see, it made 180-day highs. I'm not here to say that NAT can't continue to uptrend as it's been doing fine on the overall year. But one of the things that I do want to pull up is on the 1 year chart. You can see with this overall 1 year analysis that obviously has a lot more margin to sell off. On the fundamental side, of course, if the overall demand level continues to increase for oil and overall oil continues to remain bullish, it would only then make sense that one of the main reasons that NAT saw this initial push anyways was because there was a surplus of oil. But if demand continues to increase for oil and storage levels continue to stabilize, the overall demand for NAT will then continue to reduce and we will see NAT slowly continue to sell off. So the reason that I'm sharing this is I want to make sure that you understand the reason why something is moving or the reason why something saw a push. This is of course something that we each have the option of doing every single time before we choose to invest our hard-earned money into something rather than simply invest in something based off of someone else's opinion. One of the things that we of course want to remind you is that we are all wired in different ways and we all see value in different ways as well. Just because I want to invest in something or I don't see value in something doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. We just don't necessarily have the same eye for value or the same criteria when it comes down to, what we see value in. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think is next for NAT. Do you think that crude oil will continue to remain bullish, and meaning that NAT will only continue to sell back off? And looking at previous support levels, it looks like there could be a potential support level right around $4 to $5 for ticker symbol NAT. And this is already after a 34% drop, if I'm not mistaken, after it hit overall highs at $9. Or do you think that it pulled back enough, which is of course a scenario where it pulled back enough that it could find a potential support and then continue to rally? At the end of the day, I'm a big believer in the overall idea that direction is key and that if we see an opportunity, there's nothing wrong with it. Let's just set our alerts and follow up with it when it actually confirms itself and it actually begins to indicate signs of an uptrend. So all this video is to simply empower you and remind you to work with people that push you to be the best version of yourselves. It's not to encourage you to trade something that you don't see value in, but it's to empower you to take time to learn more about why something is either worth investing or not worth investing based off of current demand levels. Like we said multiple times before, right now with crazy volatility comes great responsibility, and sometimes one of the best trades or one of the best investments you can make is simply not taking one at all, especially if you don't have a full understanding of what you're getting yourself into. So I really hope that I earned your thumbs up. Don't forget to smash that like button. If you guys are new to the channel, I am the largest YouTube channel in the world for those that day trade in the stock market. We have over 770,000 subscribers. And again, all you have to do is turn on those post notifications to get updated for our next video. We'll see you guys tomorrow during our live trading session. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.